Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum to another new episode of North American Muslim Foundation Senior Talk funded by New Horizon, and I'm your host Tathir Abbas. We are in conversation with Mr. Najmul Siddiqui. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Wa alaikum assalam, and thank you very much for inviting me.
You're more than welcome, sir. So, sir, I would like to start my questioning from when did you decide to come to Canada?
That's a very interesting question. I have been educated in UK.
Okay.
And while I was in the final year of my education in the college, Canadian Embassy staff came there and they showed us a movie about Canada, and they gave us a medical letter that and please go and get your medical done, and you can come to Canada.
Wow.
So, and the beautiful scenery that they showed me about Canada was very encouraging. But I had promised my father that I'll come back to Pakistan. So I went back to Pakistan. I was there for an year, but then the 71 war became more and more that it's going to happen.
All right.
So my father said that if you want to go, go. So obviously Canada was my first choice.
Oh, that's interesting. So 1971, that's like a long time ago.
Yep.
Please tell us the time that you landed here, and you had an experience of England as well.
Yep.
So when you landed in Canada, what were your first thoughts? What was your first experience?
I had, I think, best landing here in a way that my uncle, my late uncle, Yaqub Ashraf Khan, he was living here, and he came to the airport to pick me up and took me home. I have to do nothing.
Okay.
So next day, he gave me a newspaper. He said, go ahead and make a few calls. I called 3 different numbers that I saw there. There were 2 electronic companies because I was educated in electronics. And there was one agency that I did not realize at that time that this is, obviously I was new here.
Right.
I got called from all 3 of them, and they were quite interested in seeing me right on the same day or next day.
MashaAllah.
And then my uncle that helped me to guide me how to get around the city. That was a quick tutorial. Coming from living in London, it wasn't difficult to understand.
Right.
The transportation system here, and I managed to go for interview to all 3 places. I got all 3 jobs.
MashaAllah.
And then next day I had a challenge which one to accept. Now the agency was after me. They said no, if we'll get you here, there. But I wanted to do something more that was hands-on in electronics. So I accepted a job. I worked there for about 6 months.
Okay.
As a quality control technician. That's the first job. Then I changed it to another company that was a better job in the same quality control department. Then my real career started when I got a job in a company here that was part of the defense and manufacturing type, design and manufacturing, and that was my first real job here that I got after 1 year after landing, and that was, I became part of the team to develop the cruise missile, and the electronic part of it.
Right.
And I spent some time in Los Angeles working with engineering group there, and then I came here. But that's where my thought process started bothering me. I said, what I'm doing, this is purely a killer, nothing else it will do. Missile attack, irrespective of people or property. So,
right.
And though it was a very good job, a very good paying job as well, a lot of benefits, but internally I was not satisfied. And that was a guidance that came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Absolutely.
And I met with a person who suggested me something for in cable television area. And I said, maybe this is something good for me.
Right.
So all my friends, they were so upset. They said, you are leaving an area which is a state of art, such a high tech, and you are going in this very, very old technology. Right. I said, well, no, it may have something good for me. And alhamdulillah, that was a very good decision.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I started business in my basement, repairing old TV converters. We'll buy it from cable companies. Okay. And that business grew. I moved from 800 square feet area, moved into, I think, 22,000 square feet, then 5,000, then 10,000, then 30,000, our own building.
And the rest, as we know, it was history.
History, then and I'm leading towards how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides people. And I'm 100% a believer of that, without any doubt, that everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
So I met with a gentleman who has some idea about parental control system. Mm-hmm. And this was a big thing. In 90s, there was so much talk about it.
Right.
So he said, well, let's work together. I have the idea, you have the tools, you have the people. I had obviously working in my previous job, the development part fascinated me.
Right.
So I did, as I say, a small company. We were investing quite a bit of money in technology development in the cable TV industry.
Wow.
And I liked the idea, but why I got 100% committed to it, because I said, well, this is a way that I can return back something. This is a technology that will help the parents to control the TV programs, irrespective of the program. They can organize the program based on their family values.
Absolutely.
So it was not a channel blocker, it was just program block. Our
right.
technology had the capability to block only that portion, that small portion, which was either the scene was not good, language was bad, or very violent.
Right.
So in the process, I did go through a lot of papers written on,
of course,
on the violence, that how people become violent, what they pick up from their childhood, and that makes them violent. So all those things went on, and somehow we got into the White House.
Wow.
Obviously, nothing happens by itself. There are means and
of course,
and some helpers.
But what an achievement!
Help you there. So and one day I got a surprise call, and I remember that vividly. That it is from White House. So I'm thinking, who's joking with me?
I'm sure.
From White House, how many people call us here? Because call came to the receptionist.
Okay.
And she transferred it to me. So he said, no, I know that you may have some different feeling, but it is really White House.
Wow.
So then President Bill Clinton made this V-chip technology a motto for his election campaign.
Okay.
And they wanted to see their technology, what it is.
Right.
And they we provided him kind of a little board, something like that, to show what it is.
Right.
And then after 2 years, we had another call that they want to do demonstration of V-chip in White House. So that was another call I had. But in the process, what happened that I was in Madina Masjid, and I went. I met with one alim there, who just I felt like kind of attached to him. And he was talking about the life hereafter.
Right.
So and then somebody introduced me to him, that who I was, and so he started paying me a little bit more attention, and he said, "Could I ask you something personally?" I said, "Sure, most welcome." So he said, "Well, you must have a good bank balance." I said, "Alhamdulillah." A big house. I said, "Alhamdulillah," and several other things. Yes, I said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed me. Yes, I have. He said, may I suggest you something to balance it?"
Oh.
I said, "Balance it." I did not understand what he was.
Wow.
What he meant by that, so I humbly requested him that please,
Please elaborate.
understanding,
Absolutely.
balance it. He says, "Oh, very simple. Convert all these things in dollars. How many dollars you have? 100,000, million, 10 million, whatever, and start working on the same amount of dollar currency that you will take with you, and that is the ajr currency. Then how do you collect all that?" So Islam doesn't stop you from having $1 billion,
Right.
but it does say that don't forget your life
Absolutely.
hereafter. So and that was so appealing for me in what he said. At that time, I decided that after 5 years, I'll say goodbye to business.
Oh.
And I did that after 4 years.
Wow.
And after that, today, I have, alhamdulillah, a lot more respect, a
MashaAllah.
lot more honor. I received my highest honor of Ontario after 7-8 years of my retirement.
Wow, that's amazing.
So I was invited by President Obama after my retirement. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a lot of benefits if we trust in Him.
Absolutely.
And the trust has to be 100%.
For sure. So, sir, tell me one thing. You landed here in 1971. At that time, Muslim community was not as strong as what it is today. So, tell us, how were you able to perceive Muslim community? Did you find other Muslim members from the community? Were you able to go to the mosque easily?
As I said in the early part, that I was greeted by my uncle here, who came here in '67.
Oh.
So he knew each and every person.
They were the pioneers of the Muslim community.
Pioneers, they were all there. So we used to at that time enjoy lunch. Dinner. It was Thursday, I believe. Thursday at UFT campus.
Okay.
International student. He was the president of the International Student Federation in UFT. So and I became the chef there because I learned a lot of things during my stay in London, how to cook,
Right.
and how to cook for 100, 200 people as well. So and though we used to cook just chicken curry all the time, chicken curry and salad.
Right.
And I still remember we used to sell it there for 75 cents.
Okay.
It's,
Wow.
so there was cold drink and salad, rice, and chicken curry. So at that to answer your question, how did I feel it? Because of this, I met all Muslim community here.
MashaAllah, that's amazing.
And then I had the honor of fixing up the floor of the second masjid in Toronto. At that time, Jama Masjid was one. I heard yesterday that there was one more, but that was from people from Albania, and but that was some kind of a musalla or something.
Oh, okay.
So masjid was only one, and this was second masjid. This was on Rhodes Avenue, close to Gerrard Street.
Okay.
And we'll go there for one reason, because families will come with roti, homemade roti as well.
Obviously.
And salan. So we were, and this was all due to my uncle. He was very passionate about the community work, and he did a lot of things as well.
MashaAllah.
He's no more, but I believe the best thing that I saw in him, that he will help people, then he will say, don't come to me again. Just forget me.
Wow.
So I never expected anything from anybody.
MashaAllah. So, sir, please help me out here. So, you came in 1971, and then you established yourself here. You opened up your own company. Any kind of government aid did you get at any point of your life?
At that time, I was not that knowledgeable about government aids or something. The only thing I knew that there was R&D program.
Okay.
You have to qualify that, but that was support for partial support for your expenses.
Right.
But I have learned a lot more now, because now I work for community, so I know a lot of
absolutely
a lot of governmental support programs.
Right. Wow. Okay. So during that time, you didn't receive a lot of government aid, or you didn't approach for them?
I approached for only the R&D work.
Okay. All right. So any kind of advice you would like to give to our seniors who are watching?
Oh, seniors. See what I see in seniors, that I'm almost 75 now.
MashaAllah.
And I'm working more than what I used to in my business days. Although my business days, in the last 10 years, I was traveling almost 200,000 miles per year, due to business reasons,
right.
of course. But I never forgot my family. I will organize my meetings, everything, that any family programs, anything. Sometime I'll take a flight back from Tokyo and be here, and then take a shower and go to a party for wedding party or somebody's birthday, something.
Yeah.
I will never ignore that. That was part of my and commitment, that I will not sacrifice
right.
My family life because of business. This was it's a quite kind of a difficult question. What you've asked me, what I will advise, because I may be a different person. Okay. But at our center, Islamic Center of Markham, and I'm the president there at the moment. I've been honored with that position. We have seniors party every month. They come,
okay.
And they can be a little bit more active. They will enjoy their life a lot more. Like there is no week in my life here where I won't attend at least 2-3 meetings.
MashaAllah.
I'm moving around. So seniors, they, as a good friend of mine, he's no more as well, at Masjid Al-Iman. He used to say seniors are the jewel of the community. And
no doubt about it.
And they have a lot of power in them.
Of course.
But if they keep the power by not using it, their life it will not be as exciting.
Absolutely, for sure.
You know? So, and they have a lot of knowledge as well. And I'm not the only one who is leading this life. I know many seniors. They are very, very busy.
Right. Okay, thank you so much, sir. This was a wonderful discussion. I thoroughly enjoyed today's conversation. You are a true asset to our community, I must say. Thank you so much for joining us. And with this, my viewers, I'm going to bid you farewell. You're watching North American Muslim Foundation Senior Talk, funded by New Horizon. And until next episode, take care of yourself. I'm your host, Tathira Abbas. Khuda Hafiz.